Hello and welcome to the Celtic Druid channel. I'm Andrew and today is Monday the 3rd of July. It's another beautiful day and it's Pride Month. Well, there's been quite a few events over the UK to celebrate Pride and well, the history of Pride, what can I say? It's always been in the summer and is dedicated to celebrate lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender, but it's never been easy for them. There's always discrimination and homophobia. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. That's to be expected sometimes, but it doesn't have to be accepted. So this is why they have Pride. So anyway, Pride Month began after the Stonewall riots in America in 1969, and there was a series of protests, and it has spread across America and outside the United States as well. And I think one of the first Pride events in the UK was in 1985. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you like, but yeah. And they were just really, what they want is equal rights. They campaign for equal rights, and why not? I think sometimes they already have their equal rights. They have gay marriage now, and which is still controversial. Some churches won't accept that, and that's entirely their belief. And we are not to dispute that because that goes against their own faith. If you have a faith, whatever your belief system is, because I don't know who you are or what you believe or what you don't believe. So what I might say could be offensive, and I apologize for that now. And so yeah, but also in jobs, in housing as well, and so on. Some of them still got to hide their sexuality because of fear of ridicule and stuff, which is not acceptable. I mean, treat each other with respect. It's as simple as that. Is that so hard to do? You know, you don't have to like it. I mean, it's like you don't have to like fish. I think fish is disgusting, so I don't eat it. But homosexuality was decriminalized in 1967, but the LGBT community have come a long way, but there is still a very long way to go, much longer than anyone can think, really. I mean, I don't mean any disrespect to the LGBT community. Some of them still have their heads in the sand. You know, there's still a very high level of homophobia, and it's still legal in 72 parts of the world. And you can get killed for being gay I'm not sure it is, but that's, I mean, I know that's in the Bible, but that's probably in the Old Testament. And they don't even believe, half of them, that Jesus returned. You know, so that's an old-fashioned law because it's in the Old Testament, probably. I mean, I'm not an expert on the Bible, but it's much more than I think. Let me see. Homophobia, it's in sports, it's in the army, it's in schools, and it's in churches. Now, who do the church think they are? I used to go to church myself. I have a faith, I have a personal faith, but that's when I know you don't judge. You don't judge your next door neighbor because we have issues in our life. I mean, you know, it says, judge not or they shall be judged. And yeah, because they believe. And that's when, this is why the LGBT community resent the churches. I've seen it on I've been to Pride March. I went to Bournemouth in 2019 with my son, and because of the COVID and the lockdowns, we didn't go. But Adam has his flag out there. My family support it. My daughter went to the one in Cardiff and Caerphilly recently, and my cousin. Um, yeah, but it's in churches. There's still a very high level. Even in the 21st century, it's still here, and it's rife. And I think some of them do know that, but a lot of them don't. And some of them are proudly out, and why not? I mean, they can be themselves, but I know it's hard because everyone's different. Everyone has a different outlook on life, and if somebody's different, they get defensive and they say, "Oh, what nothing to do with it." But this is why the LGBT community make that mistake of thinking that God hates them, and they don't. And then this is why, well, God doesn't hate them. God is incapable of hating people because God is love. I mean, the LGBT community says love is love, but I've seen it on YouTube and the statistics and the hateful comments and the violence on there on both sides. The police, the LGBT community, they attack, and they've attacked preachers in there because they think it's a sin. They're all going to go to hell. Who are we to say that they're all going to go to hell? We don't know their hearts. So, but it's in Leviticus, and you know, man should not lie with a man as with a woman. I looked that up, and that's in the Old Testament. I'm not saying it's right, because I'm not right. I believe the Bible is, but yeah, but that's also in the Old Testament, and before Jesus came into the world, and when Jesus came into the world, there was a new law, and I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible that says that Jesus preached against homosexuality. Um, but that does it all apply today? I know this is all controversial, but this is me. If I can't speak about what I believe in, then what a sorry world we live in. Um, Violence towards the LGBT community has increased, especially within recent years. I don't know all the names, but for the I detest, I think it's absolutely abhorrent violence towards anyone. I hate violence towards children, towards women, towards animals, even towards men. And there are men that abuse husbands. Unbelievable, but it remains silent because they suffer ridicule and embarrassment. But it's there. I mean, with homophobia, there's a lot of it still now. I look at the YouTube comments, and it's there. And they can say things on there because they're keyboard warriors and they hide behind fake names and fake pictures. But attitudes, I mean, the law has changed since 1967, but attitudes have not. I can absolutely issue with that now because I'm on the outside of the fence and I see it all. Back in the 1980s, it was worse. It was rife. The government, the Tory government, Margaret Thatcher, introduced, what was it called? Section 28, that's it, which forbid the promotion of homosexuality. So, and there was AIDS as well. And I can absolutely see it because I was there in the 1980s. I was a child of these. I was in school. And this is where I know that the gay community were ones to avoid, stay away from them. And even I was naive. In the 1970s, I didn't even know what homosexuality was. I didn't know it existed. Do you know what I mean? Not until 1918, until I started comprehensive school. And then the words was bummer. In my grandfather's day, the word was bum boy. Now it's other more offensive things. Now with LGBT, there's also another letter added called LGBTQ, which I don't like because it's called queer, because that's offensive, it's disrespectful, and it's also, I mean, queer means gay, it's the same thing. But the word queer, they say it themselves. The word queer I find offensive and disrespectful. Simple as that. And but like I say, violence. I absolutely hate violence. altogether, and it's not on. It's not acceptable. Simple as that. You're not gonna knock the gay out of them, are you? I mean, and also with the Christian community, don't judge them, love them, and pray for them. You know, I know that some of the gay community, they've left that life behind them and became born again. But yeah, there was also that bloke in Cardiff. He was a doctor. I can't remember his name, but it was very recently. Look it up on the. But all I can say is about this subject, because like I say, this is controversial, is to, you know, for anyone who's still in the closet, it's still, even in this day and age, like I say, in 72 parts of the world, you can get killed for being. I mean, look at football matches in Qatar, where it was. They would be LGBT fans were being advised to be careful, or because of their beliefs, respect them. Yeah, it's safer to stay in the closet even now. I know it's not a good thing. It's not a good place to be, but it is safer. I mean, I don't normally advise it, but if you're young, keep it private in schools. You're entitled to your privacy. It's nobody's business who you are. It's nobody's business, and you're entitled to be private. You can come out when you're ready, and all I can say is be very cautious of people, be very safe, and be mindful. But most of all, happy Pride. Anyway, my sincere best wishes to each and every one of you. It doesn't matter who you are, black, white, gay, straight, whatever nationality you are welcome here. You're welcome here. Comment below, subscribe. Andrew, the Celtic Druid, over and out.